Welcome back to Hytale Spins. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we're going to talk about why fans are so angry at the Hytale developers, and here's why. But before we begin with today's topic, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. There are sure to be a lot of expectations when a game has been riding the hype train for as long as Hytale has. And as the number of admirers in the community grows with each passing year, those expectations have begun to grow out of control. And this is precisely what we are discussing today, because in this video, we'll talk about the most anticipated and demanded aspects of Hytale that the community expects to see when the game launches. Let's get started without further ado. Since the beginning, Hytale's world has been its main selling point. It's easy to see why, especially when it comes to Orbis. One of the ways the hypixel servers set themselves apart from the worlds of Minecraft and Roblox was the depth of their fantasy realm. There were a billion more castles, temples, and ruins than anyone could have anticipated based on the vegetation, trees, and the landforms that dotted the wilderness. The grandeur of the universe seemed to bring out the explorer in all of us with Hytale's direct sequel and the development of those servers. It was nearly inevitable that fans would demand a larger in-game area. In light of this, how well is Hytale's shipping set up to do so? Fortunately, for the time being, the response looks to be astonishingly positive. There is something for everyone, from the hundreds of biomes listed to the 5 separate civilizations, each with its own history and culture, not to mention the hundreds of various sorts of buildings that can be created using this extraordinary construction process. With the world, it appears that one thing we Hytale fans won't have to worry about is our expectations not being met. In a similar vein, the studio looks to be more than happy to meet another fan request. It feels like an eternity every time we get news, but we haven't heard anything about Hytale in a long time. Even more so when it comes to breaking news of this magnitude. From a completely new world gen engine to revolutionary movement methods, this video will be jam-packed with Hytale news you won't want to miss. To begin with, I'd like to point out that many of these changes are completely new, even by Hytale standards. As the team stated, many of these changes may not make it into the final game. Some, on the other hand, believe that the team's tardiness in announcing the changes reflects their high expectations for them. As they said themselves, we spent a lot of time over the last year conducting a deep investigation into all things we need to do in order to ensure that Hytale lives up to expectation. Let's get down to business with the game's most significant change since its announcement, in my opinion. The recent update's announcement of a multi-platform support, which is now first on the list of news, has nothing to do with the game experience. Rather than something with a far greater impact on the real-world experience, that's right, we're talking about Hytale's availability and accessibility. As stated in the Winter 2021 update, they said, "It's vitally important for us that Hytale supports a large interconnected community for many years to come. That means making sure that we're ready for the challenges that come with growth, including eventually releasing the game on multiple platforms." However, we no longer expect it to be ready for launch until at least 2023, and it could take a long time, they explained. There are two key considerations driving this assessment. The first is that our capabilities as a studio have significantly improved, and the scope of what we can do has expanded. Put simply, we're better at making games than we used to be, but taking full advantage of this takes time. They then added, "The second consideration is the need to develop Hytale in a way that allows us to bring it to multiple platforms as rapidly as possible. It's always been our goal to eventually release Hytale on mobile and consoles, as well as PC, but it has become apparent that we are heading for a scenario where our community would ultimately find itself split across versions and devices." They also added, "We think it's enormously important to avoid this to create an ecosystem where as many players as possible can play together with their creations. However, this means making major changes to Hytale's engine, and our approach to launch on this extends development time." That's enough for the number of things that we'll be able to interact with in the game. But what about the things we'll be able to construct ourselves? I'm referring to the building style, customization, combat weaponry, and all that jazz. As you can guess, the heightened community has taken care of that, and Hytale's excellent construction system being one of the most widely acclaimed aspects. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll produce for you guys. We're signing off now, but we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.